Attention, please be advised. The following episode contains spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Because you can't hear the screams.
Corey, no! Don't kill children!
Nerd On.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need but deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome here.
Yes,
Good job.
I did it.
See?
I did the intro. I
thing.
read off a piece of paper.
On
What?
the script, right? The script.
Oh,
It's a Jason Mraz song.
I would never have
Fucking
gotten
did
that.
it.
But that's okay.
Cool. So here we are.
Here we are.
And
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about
pretty
a little,
incredible.
I think it's incredulous.
little movie close to at least my heart, maybe some other people's hearts. I don't know.
It's kind of
Yeah.
We'll find out.
If Tom had a heart, it would be close to that.
Incredibles
Two.
2.
That's whoever has it.
Two. The,
Well, I was
the
thinking-
second one.
We'll touch on the first one too, but
We'll talk a little bit
14 years
difference
later.
Yes.
but
Which
before
is
we do so,
Crazy.
yeah, 14 years. Before we do so, we have some housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Thanks, Ellie. Yeah,
This-
14 years. Listen to me. I've got some housekeeping to do.
Housekeeping.
This episode is brought you in part
By Patreon.
our patrons over at Patreon.
I'm
Yes,
just
you.
gonna stop talking.
We wouldn't be here without you. I'm just trying to mix it up a little bit. You
Welcome
know?
to the Ollie
Yeah.
Show, where
Totally.
all levels of Ollie are welcome.
Cool.
But the
Ollie, do the
show,
Patreon pitch. Go.
the show
You
is
did.
brought to you by
If you would like
Patreon.
to, if you like what you hear and you would like to support us, head on over to our Patreon. You can find all of the information and more over on our website, nerdonthepodcast.com.
Boom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we would also like to introduce our guest before we start. Today,
Yes.
you have
Hosts?
Tom in the booth.
Guests.
Did I say guest or host?
You said guest.
You said guest.
I'm a
I was
guest
like,
in
I'm
your
very
house.
curious about what kind of
What
joke
kind of
this would
pots
be.
is you smoking?
I thought you were going to say
Oh.
like Josh.
Oh. But all the hosts. My name's Tom. Y'all know who it is.
Corey.
Caitlin.
Ollie. I don't know why I almost said Tom.
Josh.
Tom.
Tom.
Guys, we're a little
Tom.
loopy. We are coming off the tail end of E3.
And we got some sick people in the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
Truths.
Two.
But I
to
got
be
so much
exact.
medicine in me, I feel incredible.
Oh,
Two.
no.
Oh, gosh.
He's reflux.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be good.
But yeah, so we start every episode with if it's a movie thing. But you know what? The really cool thing I want to just talk about. This is our first Pixar movie.
It
We're
is.
excited about
You're
it.
right.
So technically speaking, we
It's
get to
two
talk
movies.
about two movies.
Yes,
Fuck
we do.
yeah. So first off, let's start with that. Let's start
Yeah.
with Bao.
Okay.
Oh, Bao.
But first, spoilers.
Yes.
Pause the movie.
Yeah,
Spoilers at the Wahoo. It's playing right now
Check in
every
your movie
15
pass.
minutes at the Burbank 16 if y'all are near there.
Yeah.
But yeah, go see it now and then come back. Welcome
It's
back
so
2 hours
good.
later.
Watch the first one, then
Wait.
watch this one, and then come back.
Here we is.
So,
Bao.
initial reactions of Bao. We're gonna make this a little quick.
I wish it was a full-length film.
And so let's.
Could have been.
So Bao is a short film that happened before the film, and it's Pixar
As
is
they
known
do.
to have short films before their film,
Mhm.
and it's about an older Chinese lady who's making these little buns, and it
Bao.
shows you the little technique how to do it. Bao.
Damn it, I'm hungry now.
And
sorry.
you steam it, and then she serves it to presumably her husband who's there, and it is her husband, and he eats them, and he eats them really quickly and goes to work, and then all of a sudden one of the Baos comes to life, and then they have this like life thing, and it's a little baby and it grows up, and then all of a sudden outgrows the mother, and then stopping it from actually leaving her, she eats it, and you're like, what the fuck?
I have to tell a story about that.
And then
for it.
at the very end, it's all a realization that it was a nightmare because it was actually the
Her
projection
son.
of her son.
Her real son.
And then her son,
And the dad makes them talk.
yeah, and her son and her actually like bond over eating like sweet buns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Josh,
your
what's the
story.
story?
So
Is
we're
someone
all
trying to
watching
eat
this.
you, Josh? Do you need help?
No, so we're all watching this. It's a packed theater, and everybody's enjoying it. You can hear like the oh. And when she eats the little guy, a kid in the fucking front goes, "What?" and starts bawling. And, like, through the entire thing, she's going, "She murdered him! Why did she have to do that?"
Wow.
And the whole theater's laughing at the kid, and you feel bad, but he's like, "Why?"
I don't feel bad at all for that kid. He learned a very valuable lesson.
Yeah, he did.
Don't piss off your mom. If I was that kid's mom, I'd be like, yeah, don't ever disobey me.
I had a similar reaction because I was like, what
Best
is
behaved kid for life.
happening? What is going to
Yeah,
happen?
it just got really dark.
I was like, damn, they just opposite Pixar themselves. They just had all this dark shit at the end.
But then it was real Pixar. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh.
But okay, so
Loved it.
Caitlin, let's hear you gush.
I loved Bao. It was one of those things where I saw sketches from it like a long time ago.
Like 2 days ago.
Months, possibly a year or more. And then it was one of those things where I was like, I love this so much and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to forget about it until it's here because I'll be sad that I'm not watching it every moment
And then
of
you
time
forgot
until
about it.
then. And then I actually forgot about it. And the moment the it started playing and I realized what it was, it was either Ollie or Tom or both of you. And I was like, oh my God. And I freaked the fuck out because I was like, it's Bao. It's time. Oh my God, the bun. It's going to be adorable and I'm going to love it so much. And then I did.
Bow now. Now it's Bow.
Now it's Bao.
Now's Bao.
But the animation
brown
style was amazing. It was just everything looked so soft and round and the textures were there, even though it was a little more stylized. And the story was really adorable.
Everyone had big, chubby faces.
Oh,
And a Canada
I
sweatshirt at the end.
the use of like shapes for all the characters and their faces and everything. It was great. And I loved it. And the story was so cute.
Ollie
Okay,
Oxenfree.
sorry.
The dough looked really real. And I wanted
Now I want Bao.
wanted to make Bao.
Want Bao.
We literally went and got Bao
We did.
afterwards.
Right after we went and got
Nice.
Bao.
Like when his head gets hit with a soccer ball and gets caved in.
I panicked. I panicked when that happened.
You're like, oh no.
No,
Like,
I mean,
that's
it
a real
looked-
issue.
It looks incredible.
That's a real issue with kids. I hope you know, like getting
Yeah.
divots in your head.
Yeah.
Like,
that is
getting
true.
hit.
Yeah.
Corey, you already talked about
I turned out fine.
Corey, that's your face, not a divot.
That's why
did-
you always wear
I did,
hats.
but I didn't really. I mean, I just said I
Webster's
wish it was
Dictionary
a full
defines
length
fine
movie. Like
as-
I mean, it was true to the Pixar form. Like the short film before the movie, 99% of the time is more interesting to me than the movie afterwards.
Wow.
Because
wow, who's
it's-
gonna be the grump of this
it's-
episode?
No. It's just that it's really it's a well done format, and the
Yeah.
ones that they choose to show before are very polished. Like the one that stuck with me always, of course, everyone knows, is the chess guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
So much so that they put him in Toy Story 2 as a character.
Yeah.
But I'm always so impressed with the limited amount of time that they have to tell those stories, and I think this was executed perfectly.
I do like it's like a little bit of like the big animated companies like here little guys, here's your little platform you could share with
It's
us.
awesome.
For me, I'm a fatty. I don't call it foodie because foodie is like the politically correct term. I call it a fatty. I'm a fatty, and fucking Asian food is the best. And then seeing it getting cooked when she makes that big meal for him, and he's like,
Oh, the
"Nah."
feast.
I'm
oh
like,
my God.
Oh my God. I just did like the fucking Rick and Morty
Yeah.
tentacle thing. But man, I liked it a lot. Again, kind of to Corey's point, I always love the short film just because they have less room to work with. So they make it so tight.
No
And
words either.
Yeah. And again, if you know me and my kind of writing style of when I write films, I don't like to have my characters talk too much. I like to see it and then feel it. Like, I don't need you to explain to me how you feel. And that's exactly what this
I feel like the
does really
beginning of Up could have been like its own
Yeah.
short film.
It might have started
Yeah.
that way.
Might have, yeah.
Yeah, proof of concept. Anything else before we move on to the
Did
main
Josh?
course?
Josh already said how you
Josh
felt
had his,
about
yeah.
it.
I
It is
mean,
a
I
little
just
story.
told the story. I mean, yeah, I've always looked, when it happened, I forgot that Pixar did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah. Oh,
They do this thing.
they do this
Yeah.
thing. I'm so excited because I've pretty much always liked them. I can't, again, it's so many
can't-
years of film that you're like, oh, I can't remember one that I didn't like, but it's like, oh, this is fun. And they always touch you and you're like, oh, that's really
Where
cute.
do they touch you, Josh?
Tom,
Show on the doll where they touch.
Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
You're
My
welcome.
heart.
I couldn't help it.
So your
thank you,
nipple?
Josh.
No, my heart.
Oh, goddamn.
No, it touched my heart. They always do. They're always very sweet, and yes, I do appreciate what they can achieve without words.
I just remembered that right after the short was over, I feel like, I don't remember, I think it was Ali that you said anything to me. And I remember once the short was over, I was tearing up real hard. And in my mind, I was like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm going to cry. And then I looked and I was like, God damn it. Ollie is saying any words to me right now.
If it helps, I didn't notice.
I know, but
I did.
I did it. And I was.
She
Just
came to
thinking
drop
about
a headset off earlier. I was like, have you been crying? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I thought about dumplings.
But now we are to The Incredibles
The main
2.
attraction.
Brad Bird's Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Again, 14 years in
Written
the
and
making.
directed by.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but the presentation that we got before the movie starts was a little short from the
Yeah,
cast.
I saw that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I love it when movies do that because the number one, I think, message I get from it is like, thank you for sitting yourselves in a theater because you then give concessions and you give the
Are you
theater
doing the thing with
business.
like Samuel L. Jackson
and Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those things. And so for me, I was like, this is the reason why I go to theaters. You
Well,
know,
it's exciting because the last time an Incredibles came out
2004.
was half my life ago.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
15 when that came out. And
2004.
yeah.
Incredibles, for those of you who don't know, is my favorite Pixar film.
Is it really?
And not only that, but probably one of my favorite animated films and probably one of my favorite films.
So it's in your top 10.
So it's my top 10 of films.
Yeah.
Wow.
The music, the art direction. I'm a big fan. Like, if you've ever seen concept art of The Incredibles,
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
that is like my favorite art style.
I'm going to look it up
Really?
right now, though.
Yeah.
wow.
That like concept, like art deco look.
yeah.
Like, I'm all about that. I want that all over my walls.
Oh, interesting.
So
I learned
to
something new about
me,
you.
this movie has a very special place in my heart. The first one.
Mhm.
And so I had a lot of high
Oh, that's
hopes.
really cool.
Yeah. Like
That's
that
awesome.
that
Oh, yeah.
image.
Corey's
If
looking up
anyone's
the
curious,
images for everyone at
he's
home.
looking up the cover of The Art of Incredibles. So go look at that cover art because that's I have that book at home.
It looks very Silver Age Frontier DC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I ate that movie up. The cast was
Eat
incredible.
it up like a bow.
I'm a huge Jason Lee fan, so I was just like,
Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that in the concept art, the goggles he's wearing
The domino.
oh yeah, weird.
What?
look
Dun,
exactly like the
dun,
ones from the movie?
Oh.
But yeah, so I went into this
It's the
with very,
Illuminati.
very high expectations.
Yeah.
Corey, your initial reactions?
Well, I
I'm a
guess I didn't
huge.
give my reaction.
I'm a huge. I'm a huge Pixar nerd. I so far, Cars aside, I don't think they've done any wrong.
Mhm.
One of my favorite tweets. What?
Finding Dory 2.
You mean
Finding
Finding
Dory?
Dory?
Oh, yeah, Finding Dory.
I still thought that was a great movie.
I still enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed that movie. The thing is, this
Oh,
if I
what?
could
Tom
sum
was
up,
grumpy?
if I could sum up how I feel about Incredibles 2 coming out is in one tweet where they said, after 14 years, Pixar is finally giving the incredible movie that we asked for after 3 Cars movies we didn't ask for.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah, that's
Yes.
perfect.
I have a
Um,
friend who would freak out on you because she loves cars. Like,
Well, we just
life
disagree, that's all.
mission.
I thought
She's
the first
welcome
car
here
was, yeah, she's welcome here as well. I'm not saying that they're bad movies. They're not my type of movie. I would have
Right.
preferred another Incredibles or whatever.
That's fair.
But yeah, I was really excited. I loved it.
So to talk about what I was saying about like Finding Dory, I like this film a lot. I think that it didn't need, or it needed more than half an hour to tell the story.
Mhm.
And that's where I think a lot of sequels fall apart.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this seems like a scene that you wanted to make after the movie and you realize like, oh, we have the assets. Or like, oh, we have the budget, so let's just make a feature-length film about it.
But not this one.
This one, I was like,
Okay.
this is cool because this is an expansion of the story. And there's a lot of differences between this film and the first one.
Yeah.
There's 14 years of context. There's 14 years of superhero movies. Goddamn Marvel came about. So, I mean, there is different
Yeah,
comedy
goddamn
styles.
Marvel.
I'm just
So upset, Tom.
fucking Italian shit, Corey.
Really mad.
So upset that those superhero movies are
14
made.
years
Oh.
of social political topics.
Yeah. And, I mean, and then also, like, it comes off after all these Pixar films have been made. And I mean,
Mhm.
Brad Bird has directed feature-length films, like live-action films after this. So his experience is different. And you feel that. And you really see that there is, like, I watched The Incredibles the day before just so I could be like, where's my mind at? Because, you know, you see the trailers and you're like, Jack's not aged. Dash hasn't aged. No one's
Yeah.
aged. And you're like, oh, shit, this is not taking place where I'm taking place. This is
Yeah.
not 14 years later. This is soon after.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Josh?
I dug it. Yeah, it is. 14
That's
years
it.
ago, I was
I dug it.
I was
Josh.
19. 2004, I just graduated from high school.
You were 18.
I was 19.
Not you're You graduated high school?
I was held back, Tom.
No. I'm saying
Thanks for bringing it up.
Wow.
2004.
I was held back in kindergarten.
I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
You're the young one. We've already established
You're a
this.
baby.
Yeah, we've already
We
said
know.
Why are you
that.
surprised by
I'm
this?
33 in a couple
It's
of
weird to
months.
think about it every once in a while. I'm just saying that I'm the grandpa.
So
No, you're the grump.
yeah, no, it was.
Grandpa.
It's awesome to see a movie come to fruition like this, where it is 14 years later. You're getting a sequel. I appreciate that. When a sequel takes a long time, I appreciate it because, I mean, yeah, they took their time with it, but they made sure
Well,
that
it wasn't
they
a
were
cash
released-
grab.
Yeah.
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 And original cast, essentially, I'm putting air quotes, like most of the main cast is,
Yeah.
except for We Will RIP soon.
And Dash.
Yeah. So I really, really enjoyed it. It was, for me, it was a touching moment. Whereas, like, with who I went with, which was my wife and her mom, my mother-in-law, they were kind of meh about it.
Oh.
Wow.
And for me, it's like, no, this is kind of, I mean, yeah, I was 19, but I was still a child,
Mhm.
you know? And so it's like, that's kind of my growing up.
We're
where
all
it's
Yeah,
some
like,
kind
yeah.
of childs, Josh.
yeah, we all.
Childs?
Childs.
We're all childs.
That's from the
In
thing.
heart?
Childs from the thing. We're all childs from the
Oh
thing.
my God. Corey.
It always goes back.
Full circle.
Full circle to the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's it's not really an explanation. It's just
It's initial reaction. Yeah. Brief synopsis, Tom. Brief.
Did we?
Did we
Well,
get?
Ollie,
we didn't get me and
Caitlin?
Caitlin.
No?
Oh, Corey.
No.
Well,
Relax.
Did I mention I have medicine running through my veins right now?
And it's NyQuil.
So
It's
Ollie,
a
Ollie,
mix of
free.
NyQuil, DayQuil, antidepressants, whatever you want.
So I love this movie. Like it was fun to watch. It's probably been my top 5 Pixar movies.
Okay.
Having said that, it's probably like number 4.
Mm.
Number 4,
There
Pixar
were-
movie?
Like there was the things I appreciated about it was, one, it didn't feel like it was slow. It was like action packed. It kept you going. Kept moving forward, right? The things that I loved about this is what I appreciate about most Pixar movies, which is like it's not necessarily for kids. It's like has adult themes, adult conversations. The thing, and I'll get into gripes and stuff later, but it just
Call them
didn't
qualms. What
capture.
podcast are you on?
The Gripey Gripes. DJ Gripey Gripes.
Oh, sorry, this isn't Geek on the podcast.
No.
Sorry.
Fuck, 40 episodes later.
When we get to the Kwame Kwams, I'll bring it up more. But essentially, it didn't hit all of the same notes for me as the first one did. Maybe because I was younger or something like that. But
Young and Dumber.
Young and Dumber, maybe. And it was like I was learning things about the world through this movie.
Mhm.
But
How to be flexible.
yeah, but I loved it. I mean, the music, the art style, the character design, it was all back. And
CG
yeah,
was
it fun.
wonderful.
Yeah, best Pixar you could see. But
Cool.
Karen.
I liked this movie a lot.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for being so descriptive
I
and
like
using
movie.
the words.
It's good.
DVD
I like
quote.
movie.
Corey.
It good.
Karen.
No, I don't know what I was expecting out of it. I was like, oh, this is probably going to be pretty good. I kind of forgot how long it had been until I was walking
Same.
into the
Mhm.
theater.
Yeah.
Literally then. That's when I was like, oh,
Well, because
it's been a
hearing
long
about an incredible
time.
sequel for so long.
yeah. So
14 years.
It was kind of always at the back of my mind. But then when it was actually happening, I was like, oh, I hope it's good.
But did you want more Cars movies? I think you wanted more. How about airplanes?
No.
They made a planes movies.
My airship
Stretch
Sona
TV.
is so cool.
Oh, God.
But yeah, no, I mean it was a great movie. And I'm super visual, so all of the textures and the way things moved and how spot on all the sounds were with the animation, just all of those check boxes were definitely marked for me.
Oh, nice. Cool.
But I liked a lot of the story stuff, and they did surprise me with how things went, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
So brief synopsis, as Corey wants me to say it.
Brief.
I have to
please.
say we have to talk a little bit about the first one.
Mhm.
The first one is much more of like a spoof, talking about like the superhero tropes and stuff like that. It's about two superheroes, Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl, like going to like suburban life, and then Mr. Incredible
Well,
sneaking
because
out.
there's a law has gone into effect that superheroes are essentially illegal.
Legal.
And then Mr. Incredible sneaks out to do it, to like go secretly be a hero and all that stuff. And then it all kind of boils down to this island, and then it comes back to the city. But it plays on a lot of, to me, again, it plays on a lot of spy like feeling
James
with
Bond.
the music, the ships and all that. And in this
Yeah,
film,
Jason Lee is what's his name?
Syndrome.
Yeah.
Incredible Boy.
Syndrome.
Yeah.
So good.
But in the second one, it takes place the moment after the first one. So it ends
Yeah.
off at a football game. Violet just got asked to a date. And then the Underminer, aka John
Down the parking
Ratzenberg, comes out. And that's a huge plus. Whenever John Ratzenberg's in a film, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I needed.
So just every Pixar film.
He's not in every Pixar film.
Almost, yeah.
He's an almost. So, I mean, that makes him like, oh, okay, cool. That puts him
99.9%.
That puts him at least at a 2 for a movie.
God, I hate it when mom and dad fight.
But
He's like the equivalent of like an original SNL cast.
he's like a Stan Lee to me. He's like a Stan Lee cameo. It's like you got to have it in there. But yeah, so it takes place right after that, and superheroes kind of have a positive name now. Then all of a sudden, there's all this damage, and then superheroes have a bad name now, and so they go back into hiding. And now there's a new company. Or there's a company that's been around that's a telecommunications company that brings in Elastigirl, Mr. Incredible, and Frozone saying, hey, we want to change the PR and we want to put cameras on you.
It's all about spin.
Yeah.
It is all about
And
spin.
so Elastigirl gets the first assignment to be like,
a
going on these.
superhero.
Yeah, being a hero.
They use her for like testing grounds kind of.
And so they kind of play the opposite role thing of like Mr. Incredible now has to be the homekeeper and all that stuff. And he has to like try to adapt to, being a father and raising kids and stuff like that. So it plays off to that a lot. And then there's this switch.
Twisty twist?
A twist.
Switch.
A twist where the main villain, the quote unquote main villain, is the Screenslaver. Is actually the sister of the main person that runs the telecommunication. And her main thing is that she's fighting for like we don't need superheroes because the hope that we have towards superheroes is a false one.
Well, because their dad was a big advocate and was killed because superheroes did not come to save him. And the brother and the sister take two different views on that. The brother takes it in the sense of, well, if superheroes hadn't been outlawed, they wouldn't have gone in hiding and they would have saved my dad. And the sister says, well, if he hadn't relied on superheroes and just gone to the safe room, they'd both be alive. Yeah. So they both took that experience and kind of forked at the road.
And I think that's cool because it is something I think big superhero genre should start trying to do is talk about that kind of stuff where it's like, are we too reliant on heroes and what are they really doing for us? And also like, should we be more reliant on ourselves and making things for ourselves?
It's also at a lower scale kind of what every superhero comic talks about. It's about, a situation, let's say with like Spider-Man and Venom, right? They both get these powers, but they fork at the road, right? So these two siblings had these the same exact thing happen to them, and it's just a matter of which way they
perspective.
Take it. Yeah.
The spin.
One bad day changes people based on what they do with it.
Yeah.
And it ends off with this cruise, kind of coming to an almost actually Speed
all the
2.
world leaders.
Speed 2, fucking Sandra Bullock.
Cruise control.
Ends with that, and then the entire team and cast of Incredibles, as well as like these new superheroes that come out, and they're at this like peace summit, and they save the day.
Yeah.
Done.
And superheroes are in a good light.
Yeah.
Because
and they're legal.
And they're legal.
Cool.
Cool.
And
For
Violet
the
gets her
time
date.
being.
Violet gets her date.
Finally.
And the Underminer still got away.
He did.
That's
We
right.
waited until the credits were done.
And then at the very
And they
end,
tricked us,
there's a
and
little
all you
Underminer
see is
thing.
the Underminer's little car driving away.
which I'm like, that's all I needed.
That's all you needed.
What the fuck?
He's the
I didn't see that.
he's the
You didn't say
Thanos
till
of
after the
that.
credits. That's what happened.
He's the
I know.
Thanos of that universe.
Yeah.
He's still out there, guys.
Thanos of Incredibles, yeah.
Incredibles 3 in 15 years? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be there.
But okay, now we're done with the synopses. You could turn, whatever back on. And favorite parts, y'all.
Raccoon fight.
Raccoon fight?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Raccoon fight all day.
Okay.
Man,
That
we laughed
was-
so much.
It reminded me of a very like Three Stooges kind of thing with superpowers. Like I loved it. Was very vaudevillian kind of this like
Again, no
they
words,
keep one-upping each
just-
other
yeah.
here and there, here and there, here and there. I thought it was some of the best physical comedy, quote unquote, physical comedy that we've seen in an animated film in a long time.
I mean, a baby getting punched. I mean, come. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
Josh, why is
But
that your
also
go-to?
a scraggly looking animal getting tortured.
Yeah.
Oh.
my
Right? Which way you want to spin it?
my mother-in-law related the raccoon to is it called Scrat,
Yeah, in Ice Age.
where it was kind of like.
Getting shitted on. left
yeah.
and
But
right.
no, I love
Yeah.
that part.
Anytime someone yelled and Baby Jack I laughed.
I disavow
out loud.
superheroes. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I laughed out loud. Or that she made him do a voice recognition to get his super suit. And he
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
"Blah, blah, blah," and the door opens perfectly. Like I thought Jack was great. But I mean I knew that going in from seeing the first and then Jack surprise and stuff like that. I knew he was going to be
AKA Franklin Richards over here.
what?
Franklin Richards, the Fantastic Four, like their child, like is all powerful.
Oh yeah. So
Oh.
I knew going in he was going to be a part that I really truly loved. But yeah, I mean anything with Jack I think may stand out to. And Dash, I love the new math bit.
Oh, yeah.
The new math. I know it was in the
Great.
trailer, but like, and he kept calling it. What did he call it? Not decimals, but he kept saying like
Demicels.
decimals. It's decimals. There was a lot of good
The
parts.
car
of it.
bit when he was like, do the missiles.
Yeah,
Launch
yeah.
the missiles. Fire the
rockets. Or pressing all the buttons and all the cool stuff in the house is happening, and then all of a sudden it starts going.
It's not fun anymore.
And he's covered in water. There's a pool.
Yeah. There was a lot of laugh out loud moments that surprised me. Like I didn't think I was gonna laugh quite as much, but I did.
My favorite part was Elastigirl's butt.
I want to say like this.
Thank you for
And
saying
its
it and
many
not
abilities.
me.
It's actually, I'm like, my eyes are going to a place, but I don't think they should be going there.
Oh my god.
Well, no,
natural, Tom.
actually,
It's real.
her abilities on that motorcycle, that chase scene,
Yeah.
was
Where she could slingshot herself with the
where she
motorcycle.
could slingshot herself
like,
with a
"Damn,
motorcycle
she's
that goes in
badass."
half. So, Elastigirl's butt is actually a valid statement.
Oh, because
I
on the
feel.
motorcycle, that's where it would come apart.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But her abilities. I'm glad that I got to see more of what she could do because it was so cool.
Well, she was running. The cool thing about the first one, she was running solo. You know, she wasn't like, she wasn't a partner to Mr. Incredible. So she's very capable as a superhero. And this movie, I think, was great because it did show that, like,
Yeah, it showcased
she's
that.
the
She got her
hero
OG
of the
outfit.
film.
Yeah.
And the
She-
sister was the villain, which also makes her capable, which is cool.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
incredibly smart.
Mine is the same. scene.
Elastigirl's butt?
Elastigirl's butt.
Nice.
No,
It's really big.
It is really
no.
big.
I mean, I'm a huge Elastigirl fan.
butt fan.
Yeah.
Butt fan.
But
As Kaylin would say, thank you for softening the blow on that. For me. But
Awkward laughter.
so I'm not the creepy one.
It's still creepy.
But I think that chase scene was probably one of the more like visceral kind of spectacles of the movie, and that leads into and that kind of leads into why? What do you think?
No, go ahead. I have a different version. Yeah.
Okay. But I think that kind of also leads into my gripey gripes, but I'll leave that
Okay.
as
Call me
a dot,
qualms.
dot, dot.
It hurts.
Qualms.
I know it's a
we
joke.
only
Are
run one
you?
hashtag in this fucking show, Ollie. It's Kwame fucking Qualms, all
Let's
right?
do-
God damn it. Not gripey gripes. One agenda.
Where?
Anyways,
What's that?
we'll circle back to that late in a few minutes.
Josh?
Well, I mean, it was the raccoon scene.
Okay.
It was the chase scene. And it was.
You can still say those things, man. We're not. It's not mutually exclusive.
I'm saying that
Oh,
there's
in
there were
addition to.
in addition to.
Got
I mean,
it.
there were a lot of great scenes in the. I love the last sequence when they're all coming together and they're getting the goggles off. I always love those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Where it's coming together.
Where it's coming together and the plan is like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's the whole movie was really just a succession of really cool moments.
Yeah.
I liked that Mr. Incredible was forced to be like the stay-at-home dad,
That.
and that
Yeah.
he was in this, and it was so. It was
Which is fitting
funny
for
to
our
watch
time.
him to be like, "That's great, honey.
Yeah.
I'm so glad." Like it was like he's struggling with his man pride. Man pride.
Well,
Yeah.
and I really liked how Edna kind of brought it up that being a father can be heroic when done properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey wants to go before I
have
go.
one more because I just know you. I don't want to interrupt you.
Edna.
Edna?
She's great.
Voiced by Brad Bird, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a man.
Yeah.
It's a small scene and it's a silly thing, but it made me laugh, like belly laugh out loud. Was the diner scene where
Oh, with the nose.
Oh my God,
spitting the
That
nose,
was
shooting
amazing.
water out of the nose was so unexpected for me that I literally jumped in my seat and started laughing. Those of you at home who can't see me,
Her
like,
facial expression
jerk.
too was
yeah,
Yeah, and it kept like building on it.
Yeah. And the fact that she walks away covering her face
She's
like that.
red and
Yeah.
there's still water coming down her nose.
I couldn't stop laughing at that part
That was a good
because
part.
it just happens so suddenly. I know that they're going there to see the boy. And
We
like,
all
that kind
knew
of thing.
because he found out where the restaurant was. You know,
Like
all that shit.
you think it's gonna be this like sweet little like interaction, and then the first thing that happens is she literally spits
Jettisons
mouthful,
water.
Yeah, jettisons water out of her nose.
She does a water gun out of her
and
nose.
Dash is perfect. I feel like Dash might be my like spirit animal.
Come on. I was like, hold on. We got that part. I think my favorite part are all the parts actually with Mr. Incredible.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
after he's like done being dumb at first, and then he's like, I have to be a dad.
Mhm.
And so
Aw.
I love the montage. Like in the first movie, I loved his montage of like, I have money, I can support my family, I'm gonna start working out at this train station.
Yeah.
I love that. And then I loved him like having to like be a good father and like learn math and like figure out like how does Jack's powers work. And I loved his progression, just getting destroyed as a man and like the 5 o'clock show.
Jack
Seems
wants
like
cookie.
it's great, isn't it? Well, you would think, but then after the cookie, he's like, yeah, right. It's just like I loved that because it's just him so resigned to everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also
Yeah.
getting to see Frozone be a total badass in this one.
Yeah, I like
Yes.
seeing a lot more Frozen. That was cool.
But to Ollie's point, what I found more like visceral in terms of a Elastigirl sequence was actually when she went to go get Screenslaver at night
Oh,
because
sure. Yeah.
No,
that
was
made
really
me, and then the whole like helicopter
It's very,
sequence that just reminded me more of like Spider-Man.
Very tense. Yeah.
And to me, that just made me like, fuck, why isn't Spider-Man like this cool?
Mhm.
Like that's what that made me feel. And like the motorcycle thing was like cool, but it was more to me, I was like, they're showing off the motorcycle. That's cool. I don't care.
Yeah.
But then her like going downtown, like finding the like where the signal's coming from, and then finding like, you know, like the ambassador's gone. Then all of a sudden it's like going to the helicopter. I'm like seeing her how she swings into a
Yeah.
helicopter. I'm like,
That was cool.
this
Oh, and then like split decisions where she's like, "Can you swim?" And 3 say
And then
yes,
kicks
and 1
them
says
out.
no, and
Yeah.
so she just kicks him out, and
like
then has to figure out how to get her out of there.
That was a really cool like, oh, this is what to me again. That's what to me Spider-Man should be. Like.
Yeah.
Like
I think I liked the chase scene was like it was really cool because you saw like the city moving past like crazy, and then like the lighting, it was like sunset.
oh yeah.
So like I
Beautiful.
just love the look and feel of
And then it's a
that
train
scene.
sequence. So I mean, you can't really go wrong
Yeah.
with a good train sequence.
So maybe visceral was the wrong term to use, but
No,
it was
no,
like
no, I think it's.
I
good.
think I
it
just have
was
a
like
different visual.
no, but I agree with you. Like that was definitely a lot more tense.
Josh, your hand is up.
Yes, Josh. Let me speak.
The student in the
Let me
back,
give you the
please.
talking stick. Here you go.
Thank you. The trust
Conch.
stick. Another favorite part is more of a favorite. I don't even know if concept is the right word, but it is what you brought
Something
up
that you
in
love.
terms of the Art Deco,
Mhm.
the design of it. It's really.
Ollie's is like grunt.
Here's the thing. I
Nerdgasm.
wouldn't want my house to be that, but I really like the art
would.
of it. And
You're
looking
saying
at
like how it's
Like the 50s kinda-
both the
Yeah.
past and the future all at the same time.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like I relate it to Fallout, where it's like that 50s kind of
It's like Batman the animated series.
yeah.
It's what they thought.
exactly.
It's like what they would think the future would look like in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's good.
Anyway,
Favorite
favorite character?
character. So we all know Corey's is Jack or Dash.
Yeah. I mean, they're all great. Here's the
raccoon.
thing. I don't know if I have one,
It's the raccoon.
to be honest.
Because they're all great. So
What?
if
I
you were
don't
to pick,
think I
two.
don't think I have one because I like Jack. I think Jack was the funniest, but I don't necessarily think he's my favorite character. Dash was great, but woefully underutilized in this movie.
Yeah.
I think Frozone's a total badass. I love Violet. I think her powers are probably on par with Jack, like cool wise, like on par with Jack for
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
The fact that she can be invisible, move things with her mind.
it's
you know what I mean?
I mean
Create
her,
a shield.
her
that's dope.
powers are what Susan Storm has in Fantastic Four, and the thing is that it's Pixar, so not going to go as dark. But what she could technically do is make a force field in your body and then explode you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh
Like,
my
that's
God.
crazy.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then, like in some senses, like you
So
can make force
dark.
fields around people's
But like
powers.
that moment where she puts the force field around the electric guy and he shocks himself, I thought that was so
Mhm.
cool. I don't think I have one. I'm sorry, guys. I
That's
don't have
fine.
a favorite character.
For me, we talked about it, and I want to say it was Mr. Incredible because like I just liked where he was at in this film,
Mm-hmm.
where I liked where he was forced again to become the household hero,
Yeah.
and then it was a lot of his learning.
Ooh, good phrase.
It was
in
his learning of like I have to be here, and it's his development, like his development is that, and then also like I think Elastigirl's development was great because it was kind of like But you know what? It wasn't pandering her development because she, from the very beginning, is like,
She was
I was
always
solo. And then she's like, oh, well, you're not in the shadow of Mr. Incredible. Like, I never was.
Right.
And so, like, I love how it's not like a pandering, like, you know, fuck men and women are great. Story was like, no, we were just great to begin with.
That's why she's my favorite character.
That's why I think it's great.
It's not from this movie or even most of the first movie. It's from the first scene of the first movie.
Whereas, like, Mr. Incredible,
Her interaction with him.
he has to now learn, like, I'm not in the front anymore. I'm not in the foreground, but I'm still here. I'm just doing a different part.
Yeah.
I'm doing this so she could be successful.
She was a hero in the first movie for being an incredible mom.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to Void though. I thought she was really cool.
Yeah.
Void was cool.
I thought she was great. Like, I did like the fact that she still like is learning her powers because she's had to like hide it essentially her whole life. So when she's helping out, and she's kind of like tossing her around a little bit.
I can do this.
Whoops. No, like at the plane thing. She put me on the plane and she keeps missing and she's like, oh shit. And then she has to do it 3 or 4 times.
Dash's sequences can be some of the coolest to watch.
Oh, yeah.
And I really liked watching him go through the portal infinite. And
realizing
that it's going nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great.
I wanted more Dash.
Yeah.
I wish. I feel like he was
slept on?
underutilized. Yeah, totally.
Kaylin.
Man.
Get good at it.
Elastigirl's butt.
It's not a character.
Oh, right. Okay. Elastigirl. I really did like Elastigirl a lot. Just like she's got that quiet mom strength.
Yep.
Interesting.
Well, she can also assert herself.
Like, she's been doing all the mom stuff the whole time. She hasn't been like, she doesn't nag on Mr. Incredible for, you're not enough of a dad or any crap like that. She's just like, nope, I'm just a mom and I'm doing my stuff.
Supportive,
and
loving.
She's supportive. She's loving. She's strong. And yeah, she's just great. Sorry, I just got cut off. So I was like, she's so great.
No. The thing is with this story, like you said, the art deco, it's the 50s and stuff like that. So you do see bits, like there was that commercial where he's baking and he's like, so easy, even he can do it.
Oh yeah.
And
that was
so,
really interesting.
A lot of commentary on the time.
Yeah.
Which was really
caught
cool.
that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the old commercials that showed was from when Elastigirl wore the white and red suit, and she was like, step up and don't let the man do it for you. Like, it was one of those, like, and that's like literally a 2-second clip. I was like, oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
I don't think you were sly. I heard that shit. But the funny thing that you said, she has that very quiet kind of heroism around that. Like, I was, for some reason, like, Elastigirl, I could not, I'm like, it's Holly Hunter. It's Holly Hunter the entire time. Like, it's Holly Hunter. Like, that's all I heard.
Very unique voice.
Yeah. And so it was very hard for me to, like, not think of her, like, as, like, a strong woman who would, like, beat the shit out of me if, like, I said something wrong to her.
Well, and this is, I don't want to get into this on this episode, but 5 seconds on this. It's a reason why a lot of voiceover actors are upset that stars are taking roles. Is because A, that's not what they're really trained to do.
Mm-hmm.
And B, you automatically go, oh, that person's this person or that person's this person. But with like Phil Lamar, half the time I don't know it's him.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does for a living. Anyway, whole nother subject for another episode.
We really could do a whole episode on just VO.
Yeah.
We will.
Both of our wives,
We will.
you could talk about it, of what VO.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah.
I also want to
We'll
give a
get
shout
there.
out to the character of Evelyn. I really liked the way she was
Evelyn?
animated, the female villain. Like
I
Catherine-
didn't even
Catherine
remember her name
Keener.
at all.
Catherine Keener.
Oh, man.
Mhm.
But I really
And
like
Bob
the
Odenkirk is the brother. So
more
good.
so than the voice acting was really good, but the animation and her character design was really interesting too. Kind of like that, kind of like blasé.
She looked
Like-
like she lived a really like troubled life,
Yeah.
but was still like successful.
It was really cool.
It
to
was
see that,
interesting. Her voice had like a raspy scratchiness to it, so it almost like I was
Catherine
like,
Keener.
is that? Well, at first I was like, is that
Classic
Scarlett
Keener.
Johansson?
That's Catherine Keener.
And then
Classic,
also,
classic Keener.
Classic Keener.
and then I was thinking, I was like, no, that's 40-year-old virgin. and I was like, okay.
Another little derail just on character design, just because it was brought up and I want to bring it up, is I was very interested about Violet's design because they made her eyes sink a lot. And just based on her character, I felt like that was super appropriate because she looks like someone who's been really sad for a long time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments, our during review, is when she was invisible coming to the kitchen and grabbing a pint of ice cream and leaving. Wooden spoon. I was like, oh my God.
And he's trying, oh, she's fine.
Or trying to garbage dispose her indestructible suit.
I liked her being a teenager.
Oh yeah, her being a teenager was great. Anyway, sorry.
Joshua. Joshua.
Joshua.
Okay, Edna over here.
I did like I'm gonna hop on that train and I'm gonna get on the Elastigirl train.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed her strength. I love listening to Holly Hunter.
Really?
She has a very unique voice that I don't know why. Anytime I hear her speak, I'm like
Say more.
Raising Arizona.
And she got that
when you go
like
back to,
southern.
like-
She got that southern draw to
yeah,
it too.
it's just like
Before Nick Cage was totally crazy.
yeah, I mean totally. Bat Cage crazy. No, I love listening to her talk. And so to have her like featured in this way that her voice is featured, it's like keep talking. I like that.
Yeah. But you don't feel like it takes away from the character at all? You're not going,
No.
"That's Holly."
No,
That's
because I feel like not in that sense. I understand kind of the point of like, oh, that's Robin Williams, or oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson, from a voiceover standpoint. But I feel like the casting was done well in terms of, yes, could you find another voiceover artist that could capture the character? Probably. But I feel like the casting has done. I like when the casting is perfect.
Cool.
And I really liked seeing, and the Holly Hunter to me, and then, of course I don't know her. She seems like
me and
she's-
Holly, we went to go get lunch the other day.
I call her Halls. She calls me J-Man.
Oh,
I
wow.
want everyone to call you that, please.
Somebody used to.
Now they call you Sweet Baby Josh.
Yeah, sweet baby Josh. She seems
Right
like she'd
before
be
you
a
cried.
strong. She seems like she'd be a strong woman. She seems like she captures the Elastigirl kind of.
Well, she is. I mean, she plays strong female.
Yeah.
Again, she would
a lot.
she would beat the shit out of me and slap my face if I said
Yeah.
anything to her.
And I actually
You've seen her in The
don't
Big
really
Sick.
know. Like when I saw her face in the trailer thing before the movie played, I was like, I know her face, but I don't really know anything about Holly Hunter. And I definitely was not going to be like, oh, that is her voice. I can't pick those kind of things out.
Yeah.
But I really liked her voice specifically for Elastigirl
this
just
role.
because it's like she has a conversational, calm, but strong and professional voice, which I feel
Yes.
like is super hyper
Yeah.
appropriate.
I
for
didn't mean to
Elastigirl.
say like they're not good actors.
You're
at
just
all.
saying you're just voicing a gripe that some people might have.
Yeah.
But
That's
also,
a side conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
but also like there's a wisdom to
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when she's talking to Evelyn, was it right? Evelyn
Mm.
about like design versus sales. And then she's talking to her and she has like whatever Evelyn's giving her new information, like she's taking it in, but it's not like as if it's like this new wonder.
New concept.
That's all. Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I attribute that to her performance as well.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just Brad Bird's writing.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
writing
It's fantastic.
is incredible.
Incredible. Two.
So instead of side character,
I didn't make it. I'm so upset.
instead of side character, favorite side character, it's favorite superpower. Now, I came up with this because, like, I was thinking, I was like, how many powers does Jack really have?
I read one that said 17.
Didn't he say 17 in the movie?
Said first 17. Yeah.
But I'm just kind of thinking about it. I'm like, whatever. What is your favorite superpower?
Well, you can pick one of his.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Yours?
Pick one
One
of
of
his.
Jack's if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah. Any.
You can't just say Jack powers.
Yeah, you can't just say Jack.
You could do super strength, like incredible, or Frozone powers. You could do void powers. You could do violet powers.
I think she wants
It's
to go
not. Well,
You
maybe
mean-
it is a power. I'm not sure. But Edna's ability to deconstruct powers and make functional fashion
That's
for
like
it.
an X-Men Forge.
Yeah.
He can make whatever. He
Yeah.
can make anything.
Yeah, and that's what like Edna's ability to spend maybe 20 hours with Jack and build a suit that
I like that she
accommodates
prefaced
all
it.
of
She
his
goes,
powers.
remember, this was only one night. And I was like, wow.
But yeah, like her ability to just like meet a baby that can't even explain
The
what he's
ultimate
capable
cosplay
of.
maker.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't even imagine what
Yeah.
Edna could make for cosplay. But
The
anyway.
way he was walking next to Edna.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the baby
The
and
next
Edna
day.
being like
Oh,
besties.
it's perfect. That's a good one. Well done.
Ollie,
My favorite superhero is Violet's set kit.
power.
Yeah.
Kit,
Power
Her
set.
kit.
power kit.
Her
Loadout.
Invisibility is cool, but I really dig all of her force field stuff.
Okay.
I don't know, like it looks better in Incredibles 1 a little bit, but I really liked her like throwy
Oh yeah.
things that she had in this
she could
one.
throw force
Throwy.
fields.
I was like, that's new.
Throw force fields, and she did that right in the beginning of the movie.
Force field
That's really
blades.
cool.
Yeah, she did it right in
Yeah.
the beginning, right?
That was really cool.
To chop up a rock, I think.
Yeah,
yeah, for
Yeah.
Underminer.
it was cool.
That was really
Josh
I
and
like
Josh.
Cool as the kids say.
Josh is like, oh no, mine's not what I wanted now.
You can say Mr. Incredible strength.
I would like to be super strong. It would be fun.
We can do that. We can do that now.
Yeah. Void was pretty flippin' sweet. That was pretty cool. It's hard because like if you think of
Your
all
whole
of
life is
Jack's
Portal the game.
yeah.
But you gotta be worried. You gotta worry about that because if you know Portal, you know that gravity and then like consistently falling, and that's why it was weird when you saw her throwing the portals and then she would like fall out and she would miss. I'm like, but she's always been falling, so you would think that she would gain more momentum going back up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thinking about powers, I just remember one of my favorite moments when he goes, "Could you like open this up?" And he's like, "Why uncrush?
Yeah.
Do you unpunch?"
Yeah. No one's ever asked you that before? No.
When you punch somebody, does someone say unpunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's for right now.
Being real
That's,
strong?
that's what I can think is Void.
Void.
Void's
Oh,
powers are
Void.
pretty cool.
Sorry.
Sophia Bush?
I would be. I would like super speed. I've always said this. No matter what, super speed
Dazzle,
is
Robert
my
Parr.
favorite power. of
Tom,
any.
you're already on your way because you talk really fast.
I think really fast.
And loud.
Yep, very fast and loud. It's just like
Dash.
Dash. It's like Dash.
Dash.
And then the like the ability to have the best metabolism ever. My God.
Does he have that though?
He's not Flash.
I was gonna
Probably.
say he's not Flash.
If you can move
and
that
that's my
fast,
that's what I was
you'd
actually
probably
gonna get
burn
to.
a
Is
lot
I was
more
gonna say
calories.
usually I would say speedster, but he has nothing to do with speed force, nothing to do with metabolism stuff.
He could be drunk.
He's not as fast as Flash.
He's not as fast.
Tom just wants a fast metabolism.
But
That's
also, you would never be
it.
late, but technically, you'd always be late.
Yeah. I would usually say the speedster, but it's missing a lot of the qualities that I would usually do. He's
No
not
lightning.
he's not as fast as Flash, right? He doesn't disappear.
But he's
into-
faster than all of us, okay?
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like it's in comparison to like Violet's powers, which is probably who I'd choose as well.
But it's not
Uh,
like Susan Storm's powers where it's like, that's what you just did to me.
No, I'm comparing them in the same universe. I'm comparing Dash Jesus.
Dash.
Dashes to Violet.
Oh, boy.
So like in that comparison,
Oh.
yeah, in that Susan Storm to Flash every time. But Dash to Violet, I would say Violet's probably
Yeah.
my favorite set of powers from that too.
Go invisible.
Yeah, going invisible, creating
Force
barriers,
field
or, like,
blades.
yeah, like when she turned invisible and she was force punching that one guy, I loved that. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I mean, I'm also very partial to Frozone.
Yeah,
Frozone?
Frozone's really cool.
Frozone being able to make that little ball of
Yeah,
ice and be
and
like,
inject
here,
it
Jack,
into him,
Jack,
yeah.
just.
He can make slush and he can make hard ice, which
He
is
made that
so cool.
mountain of snow. For
Oh,
the
that
freaking
was
ship.
so beautiful.
Seeing him come in and be a badass and defend
Yeah.
the kids for those few minutes
Oh.
might have been a highlight for me. And
Yeah.
like picking up on it early too. And he's like, that's interesting because they sent me here. And like, I loved that. I just loved that he was not like the stupid adult who was like, oh, you guys are from there too. Great, come on in. I was like, oh God, he's going to let them all in.
But also, he wasn't like, we have to find a plan. We got to do something. He was very much like, go, go, go. He's like, get in the car. Say your names. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he
Like,
was
knew he
baller
was
in that
he
moment.
knew
He
he was
knew
not
he
gonna
was in
make it.
trouble.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Oh,
Gosh. Yeah. So
I like that the kids relied on him when he was being like not the best parent.
Yeah.
They invited him over. That was cool.
Yeah.
They knew.
We better
They
be
knew
back
what's going
ASAP.
Right.
I love that.
what I did?
You did favorite
I
power?
said it was Edna.
Yeah.
That was
And
really?
the cool
Frozen
outfits.
powers. Okay.
Because I don't know, that might actually be a superpower.
It
That-
is.
I think
may
it's
be.
considered-
Stay in
is.
school,
I think
kids.
it is.
Well, what if
Stay-
it
Intelligence
is? Like
is
she
a
actually
superpower.
does have like
Yeah.
she
The
has
like
an
hyper
X gene
reasoning
that's like-
ability.
yeah.
It's an X-Men
Forge.
power.
Ability.
Yeah.
So now we
DJ
go to Kwame Qualms.
DJ Qualms.
You hear that?
Kwame
You hear that
Qualms.
over here?
Sorry.
Grippy Graps. You hear that?
Grip
Grippy
grabby.
grapes.
Okay. So Kwame Quams.
Then you can say it as something different.
So that's why the hashtag's never gonna catch. For me, I don't have too many. My main, okay, actually I do. So
Wow, I'm surprised.
my first one was like he
Oh,
wraps a chain.
surprise.
Mr. Incredible wraps a chain.
Oh, yeah,
an
okay,
anvil with
that's
just
fair.
solid lead or whatever.
And
or
he
iron.
throws that shit off as if it's nothing, and he can't uncrush the.
You can't uncrush hollow
thing.
pipes.
But this is a very superhero trope of like the writers of superhero genres change and vary the level of strength or power that someone has to write a better drama.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you have a world where like DC or Marvel where it's like you have fucking Thor and you have Superman. It's like, what kind of fucking problems do you have? And it's like, well, let's remove them so that we don't have to have like, it's a one-page issue. You know, like, so this is like, I get it, but it was like, come on. It would have been cooler if like he crushed it to the point where you can't even use it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, that makes more sense. And the second thing, it's a qualm. I won't say it's like such a terrible thing. I don't think it takes away. It was just different to adjust to this film not being a parody. Like in the first one, they sold it so hard, like, no capes or else you'll go die in the little thing. And then it's like, okay, they're making fun of capes. And it's like, and exactly, you call me monologuing. It's like, okay, they're making fun of monologues.
It's like, funny because at a certain point, she very heavily monologues.
Yeah.
Like very heavily. And I was like, I'm surprised they didn't like call it out or point it out.
So that was a little different because like instead of, you know, making fun of or poking or, you know, talking about itself, intertextuality of what the superhero genre is, they just went full into the superhero genre. But again, it's one of those things I like about films such as like Corey's now discovering Rocky, where people think it's a boxing movie. No, it's a fucking drama. Boxing is a background. Like Incredibles, it's a family movie and the superhero shit's in the background.
Yep.
Like it's about jobs. It's about like being truthful and honest to your
family,
spouses. So
Things we can all actually
discovering
relate to.
inner strength.
Yeah. So, that was one weird qualm. And they still had a little bit of that spy feel that the first one did, just with like the telecommunications company. You're going to be assigned and sent over here.
The red
gadgets.
telephones.
Yeah. But, it just had a very different vibe compared to the first one. So,
gosh, your qualms make sense, and I'm upset that they do, and I agree with them.
Instead of like, they didn't use this guy, and it makes me mad. I'm like, who gives a shit if you're mad? But it's like, it's an issue, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
I can take it or leave it.
Well, crumbs.
That was good. I like that.
Who?
My qualm is I saw the twist coming from a mile away.
Yeah, 12,000 billion.
Number 5.
What?
Let me transfer it.
And so the moment she came in to the room and stood next to her brother, I was like, oh, it's either going to be both of them or it's going to be just her.
Yeah.
Because Bob Odenkirk plays a great villain. And so when he was cast as that, and this is another issue with voiceover artists being cast as me, when Bob Odenkirk started talking, I was like, there's a chance that's the villain. Because Bob Odenkirk just has that voice. But yeah, my big qualm is that it wasn't, it was more of a waiting game for me watching the movie.
See,
So I didn't have the suspense. It wasn't It wasn't whether or not what's going to happen, it was when.
Yeah.
When is she going to figure it out?
Yep.
I think it was Tom and Ali that I talked to about this, but I was
we're
actually
the only people that watched it with you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was surprised by it because I thought it was either going to be the brother or I thought it was going to be
Dickerson.
Rick Dickers.
Yep.
Wow.
I did.
Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad.
Because he had that like mind control thing, and he's like, "Oh, it's not an exact science of mind control." But then the screenslaver was doing stuff, and I was like, "What if he wants to change this legislation? Is trying to be a good cop and actually knows more than he says?"
I didn't ever suspect Dickers. I think just because of the first movie.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I when they introduced that she was the one who came up with all the technology and design, I was like, "Oh, it's her." Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So for me, that was.
I'm a child, and
No,
I
it's-
didn't
I
see
mean,
it coming.
That's just.
No.
Well, technically, if they put more of Dicker in it, then it would have been like
Yeah,
plausible.
that's fair.
Like, that's what they do
Possibly.
with Scooby Doo. It's like they
like
throw,
being upset that he was shut down and stuff like that. If they had built more upon that, I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just assume the worst possible scenario off of the tiniest pieces of information.
That's
so.
fair.
Their friend's gonna betray them.
But
Yes.
so it took a little of the wind out of sails for the movie for me.
Yep.
As far as stakes go, I knew, like when she's investigating the house, I was already like, it's not him. Especially because they show the goggles sitting there, and then he's. I don't know. It was too many pieces that I put together too early. I guess was my biggest qualm. I think that I have with
it's a
the film.
child's movie.
It's not. It's not. 100% not. I think that's all I have for now. Like that's really jarring, or stands out at least. Yeah.
Caitlin.
Ah, damn it.
It was going this way no matter
I know.
what.
I saw it coming. I don't.
Do you need another second? Because I just thought of one more.
Yeah, Corey.
I was a little disappointed that, and this is my own baggage qualm, that it didn't touch on the. Pixar has a way with speaking to deep emotions that we all feel.
Yeah.
And basically telling you that it's okay and it's going to be tough. No one's saying it's easy. And I felt that was lacking from this film. It felt like a great superhero film.
They don't have a
dancing
this too
around.
shall pass kind of feeling.
It felt like a great superhero film that
You're
we're all
dancing
used
around
to.
my stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was like, of course everyone points to like Up and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where they're not afraid to do it. And I felt like they didn't really go all in. Like they had moments with the marriage of like him feeling emasculated and, you know, not really supporting her. And I wish they kind of dove into that more instead of just making jokes off of it. Because I feel like they're good with that kind of stuff. But
I think the deepest that they went with it was when Mr. Incredible talks to Violet and says like, I'm sorry for doing that.
Yeah.
And I didn't take your feelings into account. You're paying for something that I did.
Yeah.
That's the deepest it went, I think.
And for me, that touching on those emotions is the reason I go to Pixar movies, which is probably why I don't like Cars as much.
Fair.
I felt walking out of the theater, I was like, I didn't really feel a lot. Does that make sense?
You enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but there was no heart
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep.
I cried more at Bao than I did.
Yeah.
At the movie, and I guess that would be considered a qualm.
Okay.
Because a lot of Pixar movies do have that kind of emotional arc where you have that single tear going down at least one part, and I don't think I really had that during this
Crying
movie.
like a baby at Toy Story 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Inside Out.
Yeah.
I will say that I kind of wish Elastigirl had been a little more resilient to the change, like just taking on the job and breaking the loss, and she seemed to be so adamantly against it. And I know that it was like, you know,
You mean resistant to it?
or
Resilient as in like she was cool to spring into
she
it?
didn't want to do it at first, and then like a very short conversation later,
She's like, yeah,
I
let's do
feel
it.
like she was just like, yeah, let's do it. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden everything was magically handed to them and they had a huge house and everything. So
Yeah.
I kind of wish we'd seen a little bit more of the like
Transition.
struggle.
Yeah, that
And
goes back
then
to the like
moving
emotional
into-
side of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Formulaically, as a narrative, it's technically right, but it could have been done better because it's supposed to be
Yeah.
like the call to adventure and then you say no, and then the call to adventure again, and then you say yes. It just happened to happen within 3 minutes. And that's the problem.
Yeah. I felt like that could have, because I remember when they got in the house, I was like, this happened like too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the villain stuff happened too easily. So I felt like that aspect maybe could have been a little more difficult and I would have been a little more emotionally invested in that. Because I do like the dynamic of Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible and
Yeah,
their
I mean,
marriage.
it was a 2-hour movie, and then some of the important bits were like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
movie, boom,
Like-
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It
But
would have been cool to, as far as, are you talking about like they thwarted the villain quickly?
with like Screenslaver where she fights him, you mean?
Oh no, I was talking about at the end. Like I would have loved. There's a moment
I guess I found another qualm, huh?
where
Wow.
well, it's within what you're saying in the
Yeah,
emotional
yeah.
stuff. It's like when she has the goggles on and Mr. Incredible shows up. There's like a moment where she kind of sees him, and I would have thought it would have been really cool if when she sees Jack, like the hypnosis for some reason, she kind of finds herself through it. Seeing her family together and stuff would have been a really instead of
But
just
she doesn't actually see them because there are screens just like in front of her eyes, right?
That's fair. But I mean, she could hear and see and stuff like I don't know.
I mean, they're
It
not
would have
really
been-
seeing.
They
'cause
didn't
they're being,
establish it, really.
They're being controlled by
Screen.
the screen,
And she,
and so they're not really seeing. They're videotaping to her, and then
Yeah.
she's controlling their actions.
Yeah, but I just mean even if she would have heard Jack or seen or something like that, like I would have loved for it to be
instead of the line at the very end where it says, I missed his first power, it could have been something in there where it's like, these are his powers.
yeah,
And then
like
it's like,
Jack
there's
did
an
something to
emotion.
say that. I don't know. It would have just been nice to that speak to the power of like family and stuff like that and relying on each other. That something other than the goggles just breaking.
I was thinking
broke her
that
out of
something
it.
might happen, but it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. I was,
Ollie?
yeah.
All y'all accent free?
All right.
All right, here we go.
Oh
Let's hear it.
no.
Bonesaw's ready.
When the family rushes back to the house at the end of Incredibles 1,
Uh-huh.
they
To the
open the
hotel.
door.
Oh, the house.
Incredibles 1,
Oh, okay.
the very end.
Okay.
They open the door, and Syndrome is standing there holding Jack.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of the most terrifying things
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen him.
So, yeah, it goes fucking dark, and that's like a huge, like,
When-
good villain thing.
When Mr. Incredible is captured and they tell him his family is dead, you see the heart wrench, and he grabs her and like looks like he's about to snap her in two, like he says he is.
Yeah.
That movie had drama.
Yeah.
It had stakes.
Because they all snap her like a toothpick, and he's like, "You don't have."
There
to
was peril, like actual peril, and I think that was.
It was heavy. It was hefty.
I feel that was completely absent in this one.
Yeah.
I never felt for one moment that the characters were in danger.
Steaks.
They were stakes.
Did you
I
see
wanted
steak?
some steaks.
Yeah.
There's no
but there
rare
were
or
no
medium,
steaks.
medium well.
Yeah, I agree
steaks.
with that.
That was the one, and it was hard for me to identify what didn't click with me. Because I loved Incredibles 2, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the experience. I love spending time with those characters. It was a fun ride. But it didn't have the impact on me that the first one did. And then I had to think about it, and I had to go back and like look at scenes from the first Incredibles. And that's when it hit me. And I was like, there was danger.
No, that's
Like,
it's
and,
actually written like in a
like
lot of
when they're in the
articles.
air, you know, in the jet, and there are missiles coming in, and Violet can't get the missile out, and you know they might die, but you know she grabs them at the last second. And
she doesn't even activate her powers. It's more like Elastigirl saves.
Elastigirl saves it, and she's like falling unconscious down, you know. So that was the sense of adventure and the sense of peril. Like that's what really stuck out to me. But like even like on a surface level, the spectacle that came with, like the island, and like one of my favorite scenes is the chase scene with Dash and the little hover chopper things.
Oh yeah.
Like that was just amazing to watch. And I feel like while this movie was really good at capturing, you know, the essence of Incredibles as far as like it being about family and all that good stuff, unfortunately, because most of the family was not part of the action for a good chunk of it, it's sort of, you know, we were kind of not robbed of, but we didn't have the opportunity to have those same kind of scenes as the first one. Like I wanted more of what I fell in love with the first one.
You want more, in a sense, again, that's why I say there has to be stakes involved.
Like giant robots, and when the robot, you know, gets up, you know, I think it's in the beginning, the first sequence, and just the lava and, you know, behind him. And
I mean, the thing is,
visuals.
Like, the first film takes place in a time where superhero movies were a spectacle.
Yeah.
They were great, and they weren't part of a universe. And now we're playing with Incredibles 2, where it's part of a universe where everyone, and I hate to say it, like it's true, people are getting tired of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Because they're getting so saturated and they're saying the same damn story. And so it's so hard to be something truthful and heartfelt because nothing ever happens at the end. The heroes always win. And so they're playing this movie where it's like you have to save face, and the real stake is the heroes don't win the way that people want them to win.
Yeah.
Versus people fucking die. I was gonna censor myself. I was like,
well, I
it's
was sad
Pixar.
because like we're like, okay, great, no, Mr. Incredible's finally in the action, immediately gets goggles on his head.
Yeah.
And so like that was, it kind of took, you know, the excitement away from me a little bit while I was watching it.
Like, what if that fight between him and his wife was 2 minutes longer?
Yeah.
Well,
It was like really emotional.
Like,
Like,
I don't want to do this.
It was in private, and
what I
he
would
didn't
have
know what was going
wanted
on.
is the new heroes and the kids to fight against Elastigirl, Mr. Incredible, and Frozone.
What if the
Because it
kids
would've been
had
like
to fight their parents?
Yeah, but that's what I would have wanted. Like, it would have been like an old generation versus the new generation.
Yeah.
And it, you know, leads on to a third film or of whatever universe where it's like the kids now have to take part.
So, I mean, that's, you know, I'm curious to like learn more about the production of the movie and and his writing process. Like maybe there'll be DVD extras or whatever. But that's the part where I was like, it's been 14 years. Like I was kind of, maybe just my own expectations were too high.
Of course they are.
but-
It's your number one fucking Pixar movie.
But that was the part that I was, you know, having said that, it's still my number 4 Pixar movie of all time, you know.
Yeah.
Because
Toy
you're
Story
an
and
intellectual.
Toy Story and Wall-E are between.
Okay.
there you
Uh,
go. J-Man.
Josh.
See, I told you.
Oh, man.
I've been waiting,
Somebody
what,
calls
20
me.
minutes for that?
Oh, God, I had to say it.
All right. Qualmies. Well, one was resolved because I didn't know that there was something after the credits. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Underminer. I was like,
Okay,
what the fuck?
Hold on.
That's it? That's
It's
he
not
gets
like a
away.
credit
He
scene.
just
Okay, so
undermined the whole movie.
God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, fuck.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's a
dun.
really good joke.
Okay,
so proud
it's
of
not
myself.
Like it's not a post-credit scene. You know how like the scrolls there, and it has like
okay, got
and
it.
literally there's just a little animation of
Yeah.
Underminer. And
Okay.
to me, like when I saw, I
So
was
what
like,
you're saying is I can still have my qualm?
yeah,
I was kind of like, what's the fucking point? I know it's to develop the like, okay, they're bad again. People don't like superheroes again.
What do you mean? The point of the movie?
No, the point of having he got away. I didn't like that he got away.
But wait, you just said, I know it's the point to set up the movie. But what's the point?
No, he just got away. I just
Wait,
didn't want him to get away.
but if he hadn't, then there's no movie.
The bank's insured,
Bank's insured.
as
It's
they
fine.
pointed out.
I
But
just
also,
didn't
if
like
they
it.
caught him,
I know.
then John Ratzenberg wouldn't be in the next film.
Yeah.
And I need
Okay.
They have to set that up.
It's a stupid qualm. See, I saw the twist a mile away. In fact,
Yeah.
I saw it when he told his
You were talking to M. Night
story
Shyamalan
about his dad dying. I was like, okay, that's when I was like, okay, it's one of them. All right, and then I started sussing out, and I was like, okay, it's her.
Is
Yeah.
it good or bad
like-
that I didn't see the twist coming because I knew that there's no way it would be that easy.
That's
Oh.
bad.
That's bad.
That's
That's
bad.
bad.
Because you're banking on the filmmakers to be
Being a
smarter
little
than
smart.
you. And the filmmakers banking that you're dumber than them.
Yeah, but I love Bradbird. I love
Bladbird.
I love Iron Giant.
That's fine. You can still love him, but I still love
didn't
Steven
know
Spielberg. But
he
I mean, like,
did?
there's still Lost World.
Yeah, that's Brad Bird.
He is Senior Giant.
Yeah.
There. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes,
There were
Brad,
actually a
Iron
couple
Giant
points where I was
Bird.
like, this kind of reminds me of Iron Giant a little bit.
Yeah.
What were we saying about the twist? Yeah, I mean, the moment she got more involved with like Elastigirl and Evelyn had more of a relationship, like, it has to be. It has to be.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because Evelyn didn't have superpowers. Maybe that's what it was. It was like
They
there
gotta
was
be
no
super-
chance for spectacle.
So
I-
neither did
I was actually-
Incredible Boy.
Batman doesn't have superpowers.
I was really hoping
Syndrome
that Evelyn was just going to be
had
a
a
really cool
giant robot.
friend for Elastigirl. But
No, here's the thing.
Yeah,
I love the
You
character
wanted to
of
go to a
Evelyn.
coffee shop and like
just wanted to hang
continue
out.
the conversation.
Can't they just be friends?
You like the character?
I really love the character of Evelyn. I really didn't want it to be true. It was like,
Yeah.
oh man, she's so cool. She's so chill. She's just like, fuck it, And I'm like,
Girl
sweet.
power.
But I saw it. I was like, fuck, it's her. And so when the scenes, when
fuck.
because when it started unfolding, and then when Elastigirl is starting to go and look for this, and I'm like, it's too fucking easy. It's not. Who's
There's-
the person
the thing
that's
is-
helping her? Okay.
The thing
it's-
is that the movie had traces of some really powerful topics, like
Yeah.
the whole feminist like theme throughout it. It was her manipulating Elastigirl, knowing that she's like all about like.
I was
woman's
gonna
strength.
say this is a very
but
strong
it didn't
feminist
have a
movie.
chance to explore that.
I mean, it was just very quick, and I just saw it coming a mile away. I just feel so stupid when I do my
Why?
columns.
Why?
I don't know.
Because
I
we
just-
all lambasted you immediately?
Yeah.
Would you say
That makes
lamp?
sense.
Did you say lamp ass?
Lambasted.
Lambasted.
I said
No.
lamb ass. Sheeps.
I felt like the kids, like what we were talking about of everything at the end kind of just coming together, and like we didn't get to see more action. Like the
Yeah,
stakes
It's called a
weren't high.
ham-fisted third act.
Like I would have really have liked the kids to have more stakes involved. Like
Yeah.
they
It didn't feel dangerous for them this time.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just, kids, just everything kind of happening. And it's like, I would have liked there to be more, like they had to do more on their own.
Yeah.
They
I
just had to sneak around
think
on their
I
own.
will say the second that like Frozone was like, get in the car and they had to say their names really
Yeah.
quickly, that was the first time I was like, oh my God,
This
they
is
are in
intense.
trouble.
That was the closest we got.
and that was it. It was
Yeah.
kind of over after that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I because they had the potential to make it really scary for the kids. And they're going in and they're like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to save our parents. And it's like, cool. You're going up against a ship full of superheroes that are all basically, they're mind fucked
Yeah.
against
Hashtag-
you.
Hashtag controversial.
mind freak.
No, hashtag controversial opinion. I think it was having Jack there. That was
Yeah.
part of the problem. Be
Jack
like,
Jack was
nothing's
too
gonna happen to a
OP.
baby.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do it. The stakes are never gonna high enough for
Yeah.
a baby to get hurt.
It's just a comedy relief. Like he
Yeah.
is. Jack, as cool and as funny as he is, he's just a comedy relief. And
Except for
when
in one
things
where
get-
he's a plot device.
Huh?
Except for in one.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
do think
I mean,
something's
just
gonna
in this
happen.
one, he's the comedy relief, and it's like it would have been cool to use those powers as part of like a even more unfolding of the danger and
Yeah.
like it.
Mhm.
Anyway, so
Hmm.
Yeah.
So now we come to
rating.
the rating.
Tom's true favorite part,
rating.
So
not the Kwame Qualms, the rating.
I would like for Ollie to start first because I know this is a very special topic, and you must learn to, as Corey says, drown your babies.
Yeah.
Why?
It's
Yeah.
actually the term in the film world or in
goodness.
industry. It's called
Kill your darlings.
It's kill your darlings, not
Yes.
drown your
Oh.
babies.
But I
Oh.
said drown your babies
Drown your kittens.
Fucking Baba Yaga over here.
Oh.
by mistake. And then someone corrected me very quickly. And I was like, oh, it makes a lot more sense.
Drown your babies, everyone.
Apparently that's how I do it, I guess. The subconscious. Someone's like, kill your darlings. Like, I'd drown him.
Because you can't hear the screams.
Corey, no, don't kill children.
Syndrome, take that in your lesson.
We just went to a very dark place.
Probably all the medicine. I don't know.
I don't know, Corey. Last time I took medicine didn't turn me into a fucking murderer.
I'm just trying to read my own subconscious.
Ambien is
Psychopath.
endorsed us, by the way.
Oh, God.
All right, so
Hashtag not sponsored.
Ali, what would you rate this movie?
My rating for this child's movie, rated PG, bring your kids, is a 3.
oh,
Whoa.
3.25.
holy ball
for it
sack! Is that
being-
the lowest we've had? No, it's not.
No.
Corey,
No.
Corey.
Probably the lowest I've given a thing. But it comes, here's the thing. It comes from a place of love. It really does. Because I have to care about a movie enough to give it a 3.
Oh,
If that makes sense.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's some reverse
interesting. Okay,
line of
But I'll
thought,
give it a
that's fine.
3.25 because of Elastigirl.
I feel like you might change it after I say my number, but Kaylin.
I'm gonna say about a 4.6
Okay,
Nice.
4.6.
Nice.
On the Caitlin scale?
on the Caitlin scale.
No. You guys.
Things are pretty
I'm
always
still
high.
thinking.
Me too. I don't know yet.
Well then, Tom.
I'm going to give it a 4.3 Now I say 4.3. Now for Tom's rules of stars,
4 is a
and shit,
masterpiece
Okay.
to him.
4s to me are like these are like collection master level. Like
Oh,
Brad
okay.
Bird should be happy about this film, and like I said, Pixar should be happy about this film. They put a lot of other shit out there. I'm like, dude, why? Why?
Well,
You didn't
Why?
need to, and I didn't want it, and you shouldn't have sold it. And look at the box office. But this film, like, cool. You expanded the story. I wish it would have been like a year or two or something like that afterwards. I wish that a lot of different things would have happened in the film that kept it more and close to the first one. But again, it tells a story that I think is a little important. It talks about some certain social subjects that Pixar films and in animated films that are directed towards children, I think have a responsibility to tell. Like, again,
I'm sorry, she's rich and is only gonna get a slap on the wrist.
yeah, like those kind of things I think are great. And it doesn't have to be like beat your head over it with it. Like, I can't tell you again, I love all the fucking princess movies like Disney's ever made. But I think that's 100% of the reason why we have such a fucked up like relationship with a lot
View
of
of
things.
love.
Yeah. Because like the girl has to
Highly
be fucking
unrealistic.
safe. The dude has to be fucking like a prince and all
Well,
this
that's why
bullshit.
Shrek did so well.
Yeah. And so when you put it on its head, and so this film doesn't have to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
Like the dad just fucking bees a dad, and the woman just, is the fucking
Bees a
hero, and
woman.
that's it.
Bees a woman.
And I mean, like, you
Oh,
don't have to,
man.
like, that's, there's a lot of good things, and the kids get to be fucking kids, and they have powers, and, they're going to be special and unique, and, like, learning how to quell your
All right.
talents and shit. So-
I'll give it a 3.9.
See, I told you I fucking changed his mind.
But
Yeah.
it's not, I don't think it falls into that 4 because I have to
Well,
say it.
again,
I
as
have to
Josh
be
has like
objective.
said,
You
my
can't-
fucking rating isn't mean shit.
You don't get a
so-
free ride
Well-
because you did an amazing thing. Incredibles, 5-star.
The Incredibles is your 5-star, and to me, Incredibles would be like a 5.6.
But it can't, I can't
Five?
let it,
4.6.
I can't let my love for
I was like,
Incredibles
wow.
1 give this movie a crutch.
Oh yeah, good.
It has to stand on its own.
100%.
Good for
And
you,
I
Ellie.
believe in that too. But yeah, so yeah, mine's a solid 4.3. It's not like, oh my god, I love this fucking movie, but I'm like, you know what? If it's on, I'll watch
yeah,
it, and I'll
100%.
buy the DVD, and I'll tell people to go watch it, and I would tell them to watch this movie over like maybe 30%, 40% of all other Pixar films.
Yeah. But I want, this is out to you, Brad Bird. I want you to hear my 3.9. And let's make Incredibles 3
Better.
Incredible. Dun,
3.
dun, dun,
Incredibler.
dun. I did it this time.
Josh.
I was just thinking about the name of our star system. Could be like the hypothetical star system because we've always said that they're not
How about we call
They don't mean
How about we
anything.
call the Milky Way?
the Milky
'Cause
Way.
that's
It's a
our star
galaxy,
system.
not a
Yeah.
star system. Thank
No,
you.
I was talking about our star.
Our solar system is
Our
called
rating
the solar
system.
Our rating
I'm just
system.
undermining you.
Ha
Oh,
ha!
it's so good.
I'm gonna
I'm proud.
crawl into
good.
my pop filter and die.
That's fair. That's great. I loved that.
So
Oh.
Josh, do your fucking star rating.
I'm sorry, that was too good. I probably would give it a 4.
Ah,
4.
Okay, it could be the same number, Corey.
no, I'm the grump.
Oh shit.
But
Oh,
go ahead,
no.
please continue. Why 4?
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I think it's probably like I can't decide between. My thing is going between 3.5.
What
and
he's
4.
doing this finger is doing like a Joshometer.
Yeah, the
and it's a little
Joshometer is
needle
going
that goes
between
back and forth.
3.5 to
Tick,
4. It's
tick,
and it
tick,
can't
tick.
Then just do
decide.
3.75.
Okay, that's fine.
There you go.
3.75.
Yeah, that's good. Why?
Well, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really did. There were fun moments, but there are story elements that I was like, come on,
Mhm.
let's not be lazy. Let's The Incredibles 1, like you have brought up, was so
It was ahead of its
incredible.
time.
Huh? Incredible.
Incroyable.
What is
Yeah.
that, a crepe?
Yeah, it's crepe.
Nice.
It's crepe-tastic.
Incroyable.
Shout out to Bon Voyage.
Like
Whenever he never got his own movie.
And again,
Oh.
it's hard not to relate one movie to its sequel. Or
Yeah.
its,
Bringing
the thing-
baggage in. You
Yeah,
always bring
bringing
baggage in.
baggage
Well,
in.
the fact that
Especially
it
with
takes
sequels.
place immediately after.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point. It's like if you gave me a couple of years in the storyline, maybe we can talk a little bit. But you're expecting this happens immediately. Nobody's
Yeah.
aged. Nothing has changed, so to speak. The law's still intact. All this kind of stuff. And so there are story tropes and again, like
Tropes.
Alice tropes. Thank you.
You're talking about liver.
Thank you.
I love trope.
Like Ollie, what you were saying and what we've gone in depth about is like, where's the danger? Where's the real
It's probably in the Johnny Quest show that they're watching.
I
yeah.
loved that, by the way.
That
I'm
was
gonna pile this on
amazing.
only because this is probably my one episode to be to be Kwame
I
with.
swear to God.
In that sense, it was starting to give off some like
MCU shit.
no,
Okay.
like worse.
DCU.
No. Worse.
Fantastic Four.
No.
Worse.
Dark
Some,
universe.
Disney sequel straight to DVD stuff.
Whoa.
Like, 'cause I was like, You're just taking a day.
Damn.
You're just spending a day in this universe. But it didn't go that far. But I was
Damn.
getting the feelings.
So extreme.
They were starting to
movie.
percolate a little bit.
So extreme goofy movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Extreme goofy movie. Perfect.
All right.
Or Lion King 1.5.
All right,
3.5.
3.5.
Um,
See, you took my grump away.
I know.
Tom.
I thought it was safe. 3.5 for a couple reasons. Me seeing the twist coming. As much as I love the Jack powers, I've known about him having powers for so long that I didn't need to take another half of a movie to let everyone else find out about it.
True.
And I get that if we had known from the beginning that she probably wouldn't have left, but I think they could have written around it. I think that him still having to deal with a baby with powers and him being like, I could totally do it, could be a whole other thing. And then finding even more powers later on.
Well, like the
Um,
power should have been like, it should have been foreground for like 3 minutes and then been background the rest.
Right. Well, like you said, like taking place right after is a cool concept. But if you've already known, I mean, when did Jack Surprise come out? It was a while ago,
Not
Yeah.
well, yeah.
right? And I feel like I've known that the kids had powers.
Jack Surprise is a short film.
The short film, right? I feel like the kids have had. Did they do it in Incredibles 1? I don't remember. Did they show he had powers in 1?
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah.
That's how
Some,
Syndrome
with-
dies.
with the
Okay, so yeah,
babysitter.
so we've
But the
all
family didn't
known
know.
we've all known he's had powers for 14 years. So
We've
for
known,
me,
yeah.
watching them discover it wasn't interesting.
It was funny.
It was funny. Don't get me wrong. I loved the raccoon fight, but you still could have had them discover that he has more powers and still had the same story.
Yeah.
So for me, 3.5. I still really enjoyed it. Like Tom said, I'm going to tell people to go see it. I had a lot of fun. Would I go see it a second time? Probably not.
The only reason I knew Ollie was going to go higher is because you've done that for the last 3 movies we've done. And that's the only reason why I knew you were
Yo,
going to go higher.
You're
predictable.
saying I'm
I'm saying I'm Batman and I'm learning all your weaknesses.
I don't
I like to keep it
I don't
interesting.
stick to my convictions. Is that what you're
I like to jump around on the star spectrum.
But
I feel
no.
complete.
So
I
no,
do.
No
I
Do
discussion.
you?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we spent this whole
We spent a lot of time.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of
Lot of
gushing.
gushing.
We did a
went
lot of gushing.
tangentially gushing.
yeah. I agree.
Tan-
I'll give it. I'll give it another. I'll give it another shout out to the art. I mean,
Oh man.
like
Well,
I'll gush about that for a sec. How's that? This is probably the most beautiful, polished
Mhm.
Pixar film I've seen.
well, immediately like going from the first one and then watching the second one and then when Mr. Incredible's in the tank, in the like little underminer tank, and you see the light hit him from the shadows is really good.
Yeah.
She's getting your attention, Corey. But also, I think a big shout out would be to the original Rick Dicker, which is Bud
Yes.
Lucky.
oh yeah.
Because I love Mike Ehrmantraut aka the voice actor who did the new Dick Ricker Rick Dicker, Rick Dicker, and he was great. The moment he came on, I was like, man, his voice is super noticeable, and I was like, who is this? I'm like, I know this voice. It's Mike Ehrmantraut. Yeah. And then I was like, why didn't I recognize him from the first one? And then all of a sudden the credits roll, and I was like, dedicated to Bud Luck. Yeah. Like, oh my god! So I love
my heart broke
Pixar
when I
did
saw that.
I think that was poignant.
I didn't even notice that it had changed.
Oh, I noticed hella hard.
Oh.
Because his voice is like he did.
It's also been like a year since I've watched Incredibles.
He did Commissioner Gordon in the Arkham Knight game, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden I was like, he has one of those voices. I know that voice, and so but yeah, that's why I wanted to do a little shout out on.
Yeah,
we gushed a lot.
I feel complete.
I do feel
I'm feeling
complete.
complete.
There was lots of gushing.
I'm feeling
There's
complete.
a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
You feel incredible?
I feel incredible.
I feel like I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Oh man.
There it is.
Almost got
That was good. I like that. I actually have been planning that since the beginning of this episode.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually panicked and thought he forgot.
No. I'll never forget.
He's been pushing it later in the episodes.
And then I got to throw it in. I'll throw it in the
I
beginning
swear one
somewhere.
week is just going to be, and as always, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We did that once.
I want to say it like this. The only time Corey would probably ever forget is if we had Christian Bale in the fucking room and he would feel a little weird to say it. Or if we had
Actually,
Kevin Conroy.
it would be Edward
that one
Norton.
I'd feel great about doing.
I feel like
But I'm just saying that's the only reason, because it was kind of like when we've had other people who played Batman, I was like,
No, it would be Sam Rockwell. If we had Sam Rockwell in the room, he wouldn't speak the whole episode.
Actually, the only one I feel like was Kevin Conroy. I felt really weird about doing that.
see?
Anyone else, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. But that one, I was like, I don't know if I want to quote another Batman in front of actual Batman.
all the other Batmans aren't actual Batman. This
No,
is
I didn't feel. I mean, I thought they're all real.
All
Batman.
levels of Batman
All
are fucking
levels of
welcome.
Batman are
But like
welcome.
that's my like 5-year-old self
Talking to you,
being
Wilfred
like,
L.
don't fucking do it. Don't
Reno
do it.
Romano.
Yeah. I felt fine in front of him doing that because I mean he was also a really cool guy, but
He
like
was.
Kevin Conroy, there was the little 5-year-old
This
me
isn't
inside.
we aren't wearing hockey pads
Was-
episode,
Okay,
so
sorry.
we're gonna feel complete.
It could be.
and wrap this up. Josh,
I do feel complete.
Well,
where can they listen to this stuff?
everybody at home listening currently, thank you so much. You are the reason that we are able to continue going. It really, we always say the support that we get from our patrons and from our listeners is always, it's so good. But if you're new to the show, you can get more information about the show at www.nerdonthepodcast.com.
Is that HTTPS / and all that shit?
You don't got to worry about that with the internet nowadays.
But yeah, you can go
Enjoy
there
it.
if you'd like to find out how to be a Patreon. Go to our website.
Yeah.
We get bonus episodes, free stuff, that kind of. It's
Yeah.
fun.
For patrons.
And
patrons only content.
give us a rating and a subscribe on the old Apple Podcast.
The old Apple Podcast.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, it helps us out. Just also give a little like and a comment. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And subscribe.
Like, comment, and maybe subscribe all over the internet on
See,
every
I keep
platform.
saying
Twitter,
it, so
Instagram,
Awesome.
Tumblr, Google+, MySpace, wherever you
Friendster,
find us.
Hangout.
If you like it, tell your friends. If
Tinder.
you hate it, tell your enemies.
Have we covered every basis? I think we
us-
have.
yeah.
Find us
Every base.
also on Grindr.
Slip inside into those
no.
DMs.
No, don't.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought of Incredibles 2.
Swipe right.
Yeah.
Every time.
As
Every
Tom
time.
said.
Yes.
Slip inside in those DMs. Let us know what you thought. Any
And,
qualms, all that stuff.
and as always,
Nerd on.
Ending broadcast.